Hey there, Joan here, welcome back to part 2 of the 3 videos mini-series where I show you how I used Messenger marketing, YouTube ads and Facebook ads to launch new music for a band that I produced, and also how we sold merchandise. In part 1 we talked about the mindset and the reason behind why we choose an approach like this. And in this video I will show you exactly how I built the chatbot, how I ran the Facebook campaign and the YouTube campaign. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the chatbot building. What I did with the chatbot is this. I created the main messaging flow that people saw when they clicked the post with the replicant video. I assigned a tag inside the chatbot software to all the people who clicked the last button that brought to the Spotify link. Then, thanks to the tags that I assigned, I was able to send a broadcast message only to the people who did not click the last button, reminding them to do it. To all the people who clicked the last button, I sent out a broadcast message with the YouTube link of the music video. And finally, after creating the merch store, I sent a broadcast message announcing the private launch of the store and the time-limited promotion. If you remember from video 1, the purpose of the chatbot was to engage and to tell a story related to the band and to the song itself. Long story short, I came up with the idea of having people answering to some questions that the replicant made, that they are based on the lyrics of the song, and at the end of this process that we call the convergence experience, which takes the name from the song, the replicant provided a Spotify link which took to the song. Then, to make sure that as many people as possible saw the post, I ran some Facebook ads and some Instagram ads. My goals for the campaigns were simple: getting people to click the post so they can land on Messenger and start the convergence experience, and getting people to watch the video. So how I did that? The strategy looked like this. Step number 1, I ran a Facebook and Instagram campaign targeting a mix of cold audiences and warm audiences I got from my previous campaigns from my band As a Conceit through custom and lookalike audiences. If you don't know what custom audiences are, they are essentially the people who already interacted with your previous campaigns or your Facebook page, for example. While lookalike audiences are audiences that Facebook creates based on a custom audience you provide or a specific event. That's the part of targeting that almost no one knows how to leverage, because chances are that if you are running your band's online presence for at least a couple of years, you already have some data that you can start creating some custom audiences, because you already know that these kind of people are interested in your bands and in your music. For example, in the case of this campaign, since my band's latest video went really well on Facebook, I created a custom audience which consisted in all the people from United States who watched our video for at least 50 and 70% of its entirety, and I created a 1% lookalike audience based on this custom audience, which means that I say to Facebook, hey, go and find other people as similar as possible to the ones who watched the 50 and 70% of this video. Step number 2, after 2-3 days the main campaign was running, both in Facebook and Instagram feeds, I created a custom audience based on the people who watched at least 50% of the replicant video. I then created a retargeting campaign aiming for YouTube views, which consisted in showing to this custom audience an ad in Facebook and Instagram feed and Instagram stories with a short clip of the music video and the YouTube link. I understand that now you can feel a little bit overwhelmed with this custom audiences thing, lookalike audiences and all that shit, but I promise that if you start implementing these strategies, with time it will become easy. Then, while Facebook and Instagram ads were running, I ran a YouTube ad campaign as well. I want to give you some pro tips first. Pro tip number 1. Google gives you a 75 euros coupon to use in ads when you spend at least 25, so check the email you sign up to YouTube with, because you probably got it at some point. Pro tip number 2. Even if you did not upload a video on your channel, you can still run ads to it. So, setting up a YouTube campaign is actually fairly simple, but one of the most important things is setting up the right bid cap. The bid cap is essentially the maximum amount that you are willing to spend for each video view. All ads platforms work the same way. You are bidding against other advertisers who are targeting the same keywords as you are, and it's very important that you control the amount that you spend. Even with a 10 euros daily budget, if you don't set the right bid cap, you will find yourself paying like 2 or 3 euros per video view, and you don't want that. I found that the sweet spot for YouTube views is when you pay 2 or 3 cents per view, so you can spend around 20 or 30 bucks to get 1,000 views, depending on the keyword that you are targeting and the geographic that you are targeting, meaning your competition. For this campaign, we only went for really high quality views, targeting only English speaking countries, and we got about 7,000 views for about 200 euros, which is not bad. Again, quality over quantity. If you target cheaper countries like Mexico, Brazil or the Philippines, you will definitely get more views at the same price, if not cheaper, but the quality of views sure won't be the same. It's up to you which route you want to take. After you launch the campaign, you want to make some adjustments after like 3 or 4 days, so you can exclude the bad performing keywords, so you can optimize the cost. And it's exactly how I did it, but to be honest, I just kind of forgot about it because I was doing so many other things. But the point is, you want to make some constant adjustments so you can optimize the cost throughout your whole campaign. So this is it for video number 2. You have seen how I built the chatbot and how I ran the Facebook, Instagram and YouTube ad campaigns, and I really hope that you learned something from it. Tomorrow you will see how I set up the merch store and how we generated a couple hundred euros in sales coming from their first ever online merch store. And I will also do a recap where I will show you the exact results we got and the exact amount we spent. So stay tuned because it's gonna be an awesome video and you will get a shit ton of value out of it. So see you tomorrow.